Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's in the corner. And she's on the camera, and we are on air. Today, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mess around and do something a little different today. And the reason being is, I guess the spice of life is something different. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of different sometimes. And that's why I do like customizing cars, because there's always something different to do. You got to figure out the glass. You got to figure out the bumper. You just got to figure out a bunch of stuff that you want to do if you're customizing things. When you do change something, it goes downhill. It just keeps progressing and progressing and progressing. And where we're at is I want to jump here on the engine a little bit. And the reason I want to jump in on the engine a little bit, because it looks good. I want it to keep looking good. And today is fun day, Sunday, and I'm going to try to make a breather for the engine and the valve pan covers in the intake. We changed, I think I said this before, we changed the intake. I wanted the intake with the oil spout in the front and the valve pan covers with no oil cover whatsoever. So this engine looks like it could be a 60s engine. What I have got now, I've got I have to get a carburetor. This has got 4 small holes. The intake we took off was a quadrajet. It had a big bore in the back, small bore in the front. This intake has 4 small holes. We give Jim a carburetor here a long time ago when he was doing his Oldsmobile, because it was leaking. If you remember that, we did videos on that. So he did not use that Edelbrock carburetor, and I called him. He still got it. So I'm going to go out and visit him and get it. Go out and check on him. I know that he's working on his Cavalier, but we're going to go out and check on him and get the carburetor. But what I want is I want a breather on it, and I have this in just my stock, or the things that I picked up. I bought this from a friend named Ryan Dickey. I think that this really looks good on the engine. This little breather, not this little breather, this breather, there's no carburetor on it, obviously. This breather, or I guess you call it a breather, I guess. The breather that I'm using there is for a 2 carburetor setup of what I'm thinking. I want to make it fit a single or a 4-barrel intake, or a breather for a 4-barrel. It's supposed to be for 2 4-barrels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make something work. What I'm thinking is I have an opening here. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, how this connects down to the 2 4-barrels. I have no idea. We haven't got anything here that it connects to, or the opening. And I don't even know how it would stay down, because there's no connection up here, or no wing nut to take it off and on. I don't know yet, so that's what I got to end up trying to fabricate. But what I want to do is I want to fabricate. I got a piece of aluminum, went out to the junkyard. I want to cut a piece and put a piece of aluminum in there. And then I'm thinking I'm going to drill the holes and screw the piece of aluminum on the bottom. Now this is good and thick, so it's not going to go anywhere. Then I went out to my junkyard, out walking around, and I found a piece that sits on a carburetor. So this is going to sit on the carburetor like this. And then this is going to apply to the aluminum. Something like that. So I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that. But first I have to get the aluminum to fit this piece, and I'm going to go for it. Let's do it. I'm going to do it right on the floor, like I always do. Why not? Let's do it. Let's put this on here. I just want to give the underneath the hood a good look, that's all. And something like this seems to be like a fun job to do, or I think it should be a fun job to do. It might be, it might be a pain in the arse, I don't know. But you have to realize when you change something on a car that was not supposed to be there, generally what happens, it affects something else. Just like in life, when you change something or whatever, if you're a drinker, and if you decide that you don't want to drink anymore, be guaranteed that your friends are going to change. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think you obviously know that, but things change. So I'm just all I did is the finger pattern around this aluminum piece. And then I don't need those 2 bumps that I put in it. Don't need them. What I mean by the 2 bumps is right there. Don't need that. I don't think I do. So basically today I'm having fun in the shop with my Queen Jolene, and I'm going to make this, I don't know if you call it a breather or not, but this breather fit the engine that we have, because I think it would look really good. I think it looked really good with the valve pan covers. Alrighty, let's make her fit. All right, we're a little bit big. Let's take some off. That's no problem, just paper. Just paper. If my tongue comes out, that just means I'm trying to do the best job possible. That's all it means. Cut these corners so they're nice and round, nothing sharp. We don't want nothing sharp underneath there. And I will get a carburetor tried on. But you need that little piece there, because I can't just put this piece of aluminum on and cut a hole in it. Expect it to sit on the carburetor. It won't do that. It needs to come up off the carburetor a little bit, because you got the choke on one side, maybe some linkage on the other side. That's how it rolls. Alrighty. We've got, you gotta excuse me for a second. I'll be right back. Excuse me for a second. Sorry, honey, but I had to do it. Or I could just be sniffling all day. Alrighty. That's fitting pretty good. It's fitting really good. Alrighty, let's take our trusty marker and we'll transfer this over to a piece of aluminum. And if I can get this to work, I'll be very happy. Yeah, I guess, happy as I can be. We'll get this to work. I'm going to try the plasma cutter on to cut this. I find that the aluminum really clogs up a grinder disc. Anything really, a piece of aluminum does. It kind of fills it up. Alrighty. I'm going to get the old plasma cutter and see if I can't cut that. We're probably, I would say we're 3/16 thick probably. That's probably 3/16 thick. There's good meat to that. Good meat. Did I turn on the air compressor? Probably not. Nope. Hose feels limp. I'll turn the air compressor on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Something like that intake, it makes your brain work because you have to find out or figure out how you're going to do it. You know, that's another nice part about things. Sometimes it's nice to try to figure out stuff, how you're going to make it work. And when you make it work, don't you feel something accomplished, you know? Or I do. Not all the time, sometimes. You guys excuse me for a minute. Can you pause? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, let's get this off. Get this out of here. I cut aluminum with it before, but I'm not sure. Just not sure. I never cut aluminum that thick, I don't think. Light come on or anything? Oh, it's not plugged in. You have to plug it in, Chatty. Had a brain fart. Believe me, I fart a lot, but I don't like it when it's a brain fart. do this. Let's check this bad boy out. Ooh, working good. Alrighty, now I'm going to put that up on something. I got a little piece of channel here, channel lock, or not channel lock, piece of channel that I'm going to use that as my table. I'm going to get a pair of vice grips, apply it on that. Got both skirts welded up. We'll look at them after we get this done. Alrighty. Looking around for gloves, got some right there. Now we're going to try to do the best job we can and cut that out. It does not matter if it fits that perfect, but it's got to fit it all the way around. I do not want to have it, I just want to put it up here out of the way for a second. Gonna throw sparks around here probably. Let's do it. Yes. Ah, there we go. Nice. So, you know that that cuts aluminum. We'll let it run for a second. Just gonna get a sander to sand that up a little bit, make it nice and clean. Nice and clean. Got a There we go. Yeah. Take this off. Nice. to begin to start to become fast at something, when it comes time to fabricating anything or anything like that, and to become fast, you must know the first procedure to become fast, and that's go grab a piece of paper and get that pattern made. That's basically one of the first things you want to do to become fast. Go get the paper, go get your scissors, make the pattern of the piece, and then you're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. It fits. All right. Now that I got that fitting in there, and it seems to be the exact same thickness of the breather that I have. I had to look around for that aluminum outside. I've had it forever. I would not chuck it out, and the reason being is I might need it. And it's just an old piece of aluminum that isn't much, but it sure did come in handy right at the present moment when I want to try something or make something. Now, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to find them little holes so I can drill the holes. Now, I'm going to take my marker and mark them holes before. You can see them. I'm not sure how many I need, but it would be nice to bolt up front and the back. Any holes back here? Betcha. Now I can't feel any hole. That one? Not sure. I'll take a look at it after I get it out. Oh, there's one. I don't know if I was watching an episode of Monster Garage or something. It was, it was a show with Jesse James in it, and they were making a car or something that propelled off a boat engine, like a wind engine or something like that, and they wanted to make a piece of metal or something to fit a shaft or something, and lo and behold, they got out all their protractors. I know what a protractor is now. They got out all their stuff and measured it all up and got their measuring tape out and drew patterns and crisscrossed and drew lines, and they took it to the machine shop. Well, when they got to the machine shop, when they bring it back, it did not fit. So another person, he went for it and he did all his measurements and got it all, you know, what he thought it needed. They went to the machine shop, went and got it done again. It was wrong again. So basically, in my opinion, if they would have took the process of transferring a piece of paper like this to a pattern, they could have went, give that to the machinist, and it would have come back and it would have fit, because you have just transferred exactly what they wanted onto a piece of paper where all the holes are, where everything is. It would have fit, but they spent all day 3 times or 2 or 3 times to try to make this piece, and it did not fit. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes it's just easy to make it easy instead of trying to draw all these lines and go to the computer and whatever. You are totally complicating it. Get a piece of paper, set it on there, and do it, and transfer. If you need to see through the paper, get yourself a piece of plastic, put on it, and then you can see everything and you can do it. When I do the door skins or when I make the cards, someone was saying most people want the car to put the interior in. Yes, I agree with you 100%. But when I go to make them door cards on that car, make a pattern for it, I'm going to buy myself some plastic, and I'm going to be able to see through the plastic. I'm going to put some magnets on the plastic. It's going to stay on the door. I'll be able to draw every hole exactly where it's at to make it fit the door. Like when the doors had little push-in things to hold your door skin on, I will know exactly where it's at because I will be able to see through the plastic. It will be thick enough that I can magnetize it to the door. I know where the handle is. I know where the winder up is. I know where everything is because I can see it. If I try to make the door cards with a piece of paper, I don't know where anything is. Basically, I have to feel for it and press it, and sometimes you move it and all that stuff. But if I had a piece of plastic, I'd show you on this piece right here, actually. If I had a piece of plastic that I could see through, like a, say maybe 14 mil, 18 mil, or 18 mil, whatever, you could see exactly what's going on. You can, believe me. I'm going to do this. There's 2 holes there, 2 holes there. We'll get these, we'll put these holes in there, and then we'll do those 2 holes up there. I want to do this. Perfect, perfect. I got a little air chuck here. It's got an opening on it. And I'm going to grab my hammer. It's the easiest thing I found. It's not that I use it all the time, it's just there and it's got a hole in it. I want these holes. Be creative at all times. You do not need most stuff that you think you need. All right, now let's take them paper out. Huh? Look at that, would you? Huh? Yeah, let's do a couple more. See if we can line that sucker up. Let's get the, I want to push it up a little bit further. It's not too bad. We'll just make a little bigger hole, that's all. Oh, oh. First thing you gotta go for is a piece of paper. If you want to become quick, get that pattern made. And you don't have to become quick if you don't want to. You don't want to, you don't have to. That's up to you if you want to become quick or not. Something like me, I try to become as quick as I can, as fast as I can, as good as I can. And that way there, when I go to do something for myself, I'm happy. But it doesn't have to be that way. Especially if you have someone else paying. Isn't that right, sweetheart? Huh?
If you're working by the hour, you probably don't want to go quick.
Not really. That's true, I guess, somewhat. But in all honesty, I guess. I don't know what to say. I'm not interested in offending anybody today. Yeah, it looks good. It doesn't look as good as Jolene, but it looks good. See how we did that? If I've got my measuring tape out and start measuring that and crisscrossing and drawing lines, okay. Now, let's try to want to put this on this piece of aluminum exactly the way I want to get it on there, I guess. And believe me, I was hollering at the TV. Grab a piece of paper, boys. Right? Would have saved you a day, 24 hours. All right, let's get this rocking and rolling here. I got a little bend on the aluminum, see that? I don't think I want that. See that? What'd you say?
Wow.
Awesome, I love her so much. Wow, she said. I need to get the drill bits rocking and rolling here. I had them out over there. I was put that squirrely drill bit back in there. I never want that. I never want that back in there again, to be honest with you. I think I might even have the right drill bit in this one. So it could be good. It could be good. Jolene has more content on the second page that we have. She has content on TikTok, and she's starting contact on Instagram. If you are on any of that stuff and you want to check out the stuff that she's doing, being creative, I think maybe the old creative talk got her juices flowing, because she is being creative and going for it. Check it out, support her. Drilled very nice. Drilled very nice. I'd much rather drill aluminum than steel, I can tell you that. That is for sure. I want to take an edge off this. Me and Jolene are going back to Australia this year. We're going to Australia this year. We've been talking to Rod, our friend in Australia, that has set everything up for us and been talking to us. And from what I understand, Juice is the guy that had the Studebaker that took me down the track. He's the guy that was very creative on the car hauler that he had. He actually is somebody like, I look up to, because he does the exact same thing. I could get ideas from him. I got lots of ideas from him actually when I was there. But they've had some bad news over there. He lost his home from some bad weather. So for 1 minute, if we think, Nova Scotia's burning or flooding, it's all the same all over the world. I think there's been lots of heartache because of the weather. But if everybody can throw out, a big, we're thinking about you, Juice, that you lost your place, and hope everything turns out great. Because I know that when we even went in his house, and he was so proud of the house because he had built the whole thing and designed it and all that stuff. And it's just, it would be sad. Obviously, it would be hard to take. All his cars were piled underneath the deck of the house there. I remember we went down there, and I'm hoping that there was some reason he had to clean that out before this happened, that whatever. But I'm sending my prayers and wishes to you, Juice, and everybody that works for you. And the reason being is I could not fathom that happening to me. And I hope that people in the car world, help you out a little bit if they can. And when we come over to Australia, if I can do anything to help you in any way, I hope that, you reach out or we come over to do something. But yeah, sad. And there's been a lot of people that say that they liked watching the episodes from Australia, and we're going back, and we've got, I'm not sure how many builds there's going to be, but there's going to be a few, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to go back and do our thing. What's the car show we're going for Drew? What's the car's name? What's the name of that? Do you know? I'll be right back and you can tell me. Whatever it is, we're going to be there, and we're hoping everybody shows up and comes out and shows a hand. Are we chopping a truck there?
No, that's in South Adelaide.
Okay, we're going to be chopping a truck at one show. I think they picked a good one for me, a 5-window or a 52 Dodge, I think, 5-window. I think we're going to chop that at a car show. Mm-hmm. We are.
I'm going to try to find the poster.
What's that, sweetheart?
I'm going to try to find the Oh, here it is.
Okay.
We're going to Coralvin, the vintage drag one, and then the Murba Rumble is the hot rod show.
I'm going to drill that one more, just make it a little bit bigger so it fits. We're off just a little tiny bit in some of the bolt holes there, or the screw holes. I should mark the ones that are off, shouldn't I? If I don't, I will not know. No, don't want that. I want them all to go in nicely. That's what I'd like to have them do, go in nicely. This is aluminum, so you really want to make things fit real good, because if not, what happens is that you strip your aluminum, and then you're really in for, a heartache, really. You've had it nice, why ruin it when you had a chance to make it good? What's going on is my holes, I'm off just a little tiny bit on each hole, so I'm going to grab another drill bit, just drill a little bigger hole, and hopefully I can get it. Then I'll bolt that on. Da-da-da-da-da. It's a little bigger hole, should be better. No more leaking air. Let's do this. Just from banging that piece of aluminum on the floor to get that straight, it told me that the aluminum is much easier to deal with. Just want to take off the sharp stuff. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Jeez. Come on, Chetty. Come on, Chetty. Now I'm going to flop this over. See if it fits any better. Whatever way fits the best is what it's getting. That one there is fine. That one there is fine. That one there is fine. And that one there is fine. That should be enough to hold us where we're going for now. Let me bring out, oh, we got another one. Got another one. That should be fine there. All right, that one's pretty good. Take that one out. Stick it over here. So obviously I'll have to bolt this down. I'm not sure if I like the idea of you can't really see inside of it that well to see the bolts. And they would be shorter ones, obviously, because I just want the head of them reach, just, you know, getting in there far enough. These were too long. I probably just want 1/2 inch. These are probably inch. Just to hold that there. Okay. Finger tight. Now, let's do this. I want the rust off that. I don't think yep, I'm going to do it. It's only going to take a second. Got some of our concoction. We'll do it outside. Okay. She wants me to do it outside. She told me, get outside. And I said, okay, baby, I love you. I'm going to get a rag. Maybe a pair of gloves. I just want to take the rust off that the easiest way possible. And that Alubrite is quite something else. But let's face it, it is designed for this. I think for the food community, to be honest with you, to clean things and make things right. Let's sit there for a second. I'm probably going to try this stuff. And didn't take it that quick. I'm probably going to try this stuff on all the stainless and the chrome on the car after a bit. I'll let it sit, clean it off, do the best I can do, and after that, it's over. I don't know what to say. Anyway, all right, that's good enough. I think I have an SOS pad in here, to be honest with you. Come on in, sweetie pie. It's a beautiful day here in Nova Scotia right now. I think we're 4 degrees this time of year. Whew, love it. Love it. I want some more of it. I'm gonna put this down here. I don't think I really need to grab a SOS pad right this second, but I'm doing it, so do it. Did I have one out anywhere? There's one there, right? Perfect. Already used, and I'll use that one. Spray a little water on it. I got some water in here or I did have some water. Wonder where I put that at. Do I have any water around here? If you do not want something to rust in the wintertime, I've had hubcaps that I bought, and they're a reasonable hubcap. There's some up here on the wall, actually, that I bought. I bought them from Speedway, and a year or two or whatever, if they get damp and they get wet, they will rust. So what I have been doing is I spray things with WD-40, and it does not rust for the winter. Like, it really helps out. I don't know why I'm going so crazy on making no rust on this, but I'm trying to make something that, I don't know, I guess I don't want rust on it. Do I? No, I don't want rust on it. If you check Jolene stuff out on the internet, on the Instagram and TikTok, make sure you leave a comment. And all it does is support her madness. Does it not? Yeah. Did you like it called madness, or you don't care?
No, it's good.
And for 1 minute, Jolene has no problem telling me anything she thinks. She's all good in that direction, aren't you, baby? Yeah. You know what you like and what you don't like. Mm-hmm. All right, so I have this piece here now. Didn't fit in there. So what I see going on here, this piece here fits down on the carburetor like this. So I want to take this piece and put it on here. it's not sitting on there, it would set in there between those 4 holes, just like that. It would. And that might be the way it goes on, but I'm just going to drill a couple holes in this bad boy, rivet that on there. I can drill them right now. I can drill holes in that. It doesn't hurt any. I'll drill a couple holes in it. We'll rivet it on there and show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to end up cutting a hole in this part. I'm going to end up cutting a hole in this aluminum because I have to have air get to the carburetor. I can't just put it on the top of it and cut it off. So after I get this in place, for some reason, and if I have to put this in the middle, which I think I should, I'm going to have to knock out a little edge where the bolt goes, or a little bit of metal around the side of this thing so it can sit down flush. You can see this right here on this side. See that right? See that? It does not sit in the middle if I go there, so I can get all the holes. This is not in the center. I think I want that in the center. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I want it in the center. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes in this and this aluminum here, and I will rivet, just pot rivets, in this piece to the aluminum, because this is steel. I can't do anything with that, but I can drill a hole in it, rivet it, say 4 rivets, one there, one there, one there, and one there. I will be able to take this piece now and set it on, go get it. So if you have an old breather that you want to put on your engine, but it doesn't fit, you know what to do. Cut the bottom out of it. You have to cut the bottom out of it. And then you have to go get yourself a cheap, or find yourself a cheap breather that has that deal. So we have, this is the carburetor that come off it. Not sure what's going sitting on the choke. You have to have a piece like this. You can see how that piece makes it go up in the air, and then we miss this stuff. We let the bolts go in. Yeah, that's what it'll do. So we can get that on top of there. We're going to have to drill a hole in this piece here. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do there. I'm not sure if I want the hole to come all the way up through. I don't want to, but if I have to, I will. But now you can see if I put this piece on here, on the center of this, now we know that this will go down on here and fit. That's what I know for sure. Do not know any more than that. So if I put that on there, I do not know any more than that. I think I'll leave that. And the reason being is when we put the carburetor on it, we'll be able to put this exactly where we need it and then put it on. Then we will cut the hole, figure out where the center is, and we'll do something with it. But that's what I want. I want the engine to look like that. That's what I want it to look like. I think it's a pretty good look for a car that's, you know, it's a 350 that was probably a newer 350 that was thrown in it. I just want it to look better. Not sure what I'm doing with the inner fenders or not. Not sure. Not going anywhere? Oh, cool. Alrighty, let's go back. I was going to end it, but nope, not going to do that yet either. I've got an inner fender on this side. We're at time, are we?
We're at 45.
We've got an inner fender on this side. Let's go on the other side, sweetheart.
Fender skirt.
Fender skirt? What'd I call it?
Inner fender.
We got a fender skirt on that, on this side, on that side, the driver's side, and we got a fender skirt on the passenger side. They fit really nice. I had no issues whatsoever. They're perfectly straight, no warpies, no nothing in them. They're absolutely awesome, both sides. But what has to happen is I have to come up with a solution to take the fender skirt off and on. I have not got a big lip on the lip that's going around on the quarter panel. I don't have a great big lip. I have quite a small lip, probably 3/4 of an inch. The round rod's a 5/16. So what I've come up with is I've got a pin here. I've got a pin here. before I take these off, I got to make something that holds them on. I'm thinking I'm going to get like a shithose door lock, one of those things. I'll probably mount one on the ramrod on this side, a small one, and I'll probably mount a small one on this side, so I can just go flip the key up, pull it back, flip the key up, pull it back, fender skirt falls off. Put the fender skirt on, find your 2 holes up here in your lip, push the fender skirt in, put your lip, put your lock in, put there, put your lock in, everything should be good. So it would come off very easily, but you're gonna have to get down, obviously. You're gonna have to get down to change the wheel, so you do. I'm gonna take a sander and I'm gonna sand one off for you so you can see what it looks like with the quarter panel sanded, the fender skirt sanded, and what it looks like. Or do I need to?
It's up to you, you can.
All right, let's do it. Why not? I want to see for myself, basically. And sometimes it's just nice to visualize stuff. I want to do the breather, but I do not want to apply the piece that fits the carburetor yet because I do not have the perfect location yet. Basically, I do not have the location yet. I have my sander. I'll sand this one on this side because I'm over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that weld off, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'll leave it all on the car. So I've made it on the car, I've welded it on the car, and it's still on the car. I'm happy with them. They're nice and flush fitting. There's going to be some filler work around the edges, but there's no way around it. I left my weld on the quarter panel when I went around there, and the reason I left it on is because I didn't want to sand it all off. I want that weld there to know that I have it welded. No, I want to see if I got any pinholes. I don't want that. I want it to fit right. So what I want, when I sand this, I placed this piece on here so it was in the middle of the ramrod. So if I want it to go back on, if I have any filler in it, I can sand a little bit of the ramrod off and I still have a nice tight fit. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to sand off the weld. I'm not going to tip my grinder or my sander in there like that. I'm going to sand, this is what I feel. I welded the metal to the ramrod. I should be able to sand that weld off flat. I mean flat, and still be all welded all the way along the edge. The reason I say that is because it penetrated into the metal and were welded to the ramrod. So you would never want to grind that on an angle and get going with it and try to get it all off, because it does not, you might be taking it all off, but if I grind it off flat and I take it off and I just go to my 18 gauge, I feel like I'm safe. And the reason being because there's still weld on it. And you can see it. Start down the bottom. Also, if you're looking at this fender skirt, see the small shadow? There's a small shadow. There's a weld all the way along there. There's a small shadow there. That means there wasn't much heat going on that panel, because you would have a bigger shadow of the heat coming down. Where it's all on the edge and going around the circle like that, it did not get much heat. And I'm happy about that because it did not work. That's basically what I want it to look like. I've got some weld on the edge of that ramrod that is not ground. I'm leaving that there until I know what I have to do in the end. If I have to grind some of that ramrod off the edge, I can get right to that weld if I want. Also, you can see I got a couple little pinholes down there. I'm gonna weld them up, make them look good, that's for sure. But basically, that's the end of the grinding on that. I have to get the 2 pins I want down here, and then I'll pull the fender skirt off after I get them applied so I know that I'm hitting something so they can go back on. Then I'll take the fender skirt off, knock the little welds off. We'll turn it upside down. We'll do all the welding along the bottom so we get a little tiny bit of a shadow of heat, so that means that there's less heat going on, or turn it upside down, heat's going up. If the fender skirt, once we apply some mud to, or fiberglass to the edge of the car, because we're going to have to, because it has some on it now, but when we apply that to it in the fender skirt, we want to get that fitting right, then we'll grind that edge down where that round rod is and come down to that weld to make it look really nice. But there's still a little bit of work left to do there. I basically have, whatever time you've seen on video is basically the time I have into them, because we showed you exactly what we're doing there to make them look the way they are, so you can do it, and I know you can. It's pretty basic, I guess. Yeah, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Jolene will appreciate some, if you want to comment on her stuff from TikTok to Instagram, if you want to join that. If you want to get quick, go right to the paper, get your pattern made, and move on. And then once you learn the steps, and then there's no questions. All you have to do is get better. And I must say, after the last 3 years of doing this, an hour at a time, I am getting better every day. I think about some of the stuff I did in the past when I was learning this stuff, and I am better now than I was before. And we know why. Because I do it every day, right? I do it every day. You cannot expect to be as good as somebody that does it every day. Do me a favor. You guys have a great day. Come back tomorrow, I'll be here.